Hello house churches, it is I, Natasha, coming from the arts and crafts room at the camp. So this past week, I asked you to tell a story of how your mom has impacted you. And when I was thinking through this question of how to answer it, this one story kept coming to mind. And it was when for a good chunk of my elementary years, so like grade 5 to 9, maybe 8, and I struggled with self-image. I was a heavier set child, and I also was like the oldest, so I was always like ahead of everyone in just height and all this body stuff that I was not comfortable with who I was. And I would always be looking at these other girls and be like, oh, they're so much skinnier and they're so much prettier than me. And there was many times I would come home crying, and I remember sitting at our island crying multiple times, and my mom would just sit with me. She would just sit and listen. And she didn't force anything on me of, you like snap out of it, like get over it. Sure, she suggested like, well, we can try like helping you eat better, or like going for a walk, like exercising more. But it was never like you failed, you need to change this. But it's just like, she was very supportive and not condemning. And those times that she just sat with me really impacted me, to just know that someone's willing to hear what I have to say and not just trying to fix me. Though she suggested stuff, but it wasn't like you need to do this. It was like, why not try this? And yeah, so I'm grateful for how she just loved me for me and not tried to change me. So going into the questions, Josh preached on Ephesians 3, 1 to 13. And this chunk of Ephesians was discussing the mystery of Christ, that it's been solved. Just kidding, all along it's been solved. Of Paul's just stating how Gentiles and Jews are together heirs of Christ, that they're one family. And one thing I was thinking about while doing these questions is I really wanted to help you guys like imagine what it would have been like if you were a Jew hearing this, or a Gentile, of how it's not something that's just natural for them. And this one of my favorite quotes that stuck with me since my first year of college was said by my professor Josh Chalmers, though I'm pretty sure it was Teddy Roosevelt that said it first, but it's, comparison is the thief of joy. And I think of even just the story I told about my mom. Like, for me, I was easily comparing myself with other people, that I just didn't think I was good enough. And even relating it to the Jews and Gentiles, where Jews would think maybe they're better than them, or vice versa. Gentiles might have been like, we are so awesome. But realizing comparison is so easy to do as humans. And when we compare, we start striving, we start becoming a bit more greedy and envious of the other people that are around us. And that's not who God called us to be. Like, our identity, when we take our eyes off of God and start putting our identity in other people, that's where all this discontentment comes from. And I want to challenge you guys to imagine what it would have been like being in these people's shoes, but also to realize that we are new creations, all of us together in Christ. So I hope you are challenged and encouraged as you go through this week's questions.